Are you someone who has the need to learn programming but is still struggling how to start? Or are you someone who already learned some basics in programming but is struggling to move ahead and learn more advanced programming techniques? Then you are at the right place. This video is for beginners of programming who want to fast track their programming skills. Programming is a very broad topic and involves many languages like Python, R, JavaScript. These languages you want to use can depend on your particular need. The good thing about ChatGPT is it is capable of providing guidance in any of these popular languages. In this video, we are using Python to demonstrate the use of ChatGPT in programming languages, but the process will be the same for all the other languages. Before even getting into programming, I would like to demonstrate the use of ChatGPT with Microsoft Excel, which we all know. So here I have a data set of water quality parameters of 5 sites, and now I need to get the average. Most of us know what is the formula that should go in the Excel cell, but for the purpose of this video, I'll ask from ChatGPT to give me the formula. So I asked from ChatGPT and it gave me the formula, and it also gives the explanation of that formula. So what I can do is copy this formula and paste it in the cell. So likewise, I can get the average. This is the basic workflow when working with ChatGPT. Now I need to compare this average value with the reference value in this column and display whether it is above the reference value or below the reference value. So I asked from ChatGPT to give me a formula for that, and it gave me this formula. So I'll copy that formula and see what we get. So you can see it gave me as above because 17 is higher than 15. So you can see we can use ChatGPT even when we use Microsoft Excel. Now let's see how to use ChatGPT with Python language. So for this demonstration I am using Jupyter Notebook, and I have this data set in Excel file. I have already saved it within the Python environment, and now I am going to import the Excel file into Python, that means into Jupyter Notebook, and display the data. So I'll ask from ChatGPT how to do that. So when I ask from ChatGPT how to import the Excel file into Jupyter Notebook, it gives me all these guidance. So first it says that I should install the pandas, because that is the package that we need to import Excel file. Then we need to enter this code to import the pandas into Jupyter Notebook. So I have already installed pandas, and now I will copy this code to my Jupyter Notebook. Then as the third step, it gives me this code to import the data. So I will copy that as well. But like if I run this code and see, I will get an error message. That is because the name of my data file is different. So I have to update the code to reflect the correct name of my data file, and then run the code again. Okay, now there are no errors, which means the code is working. And then it says to display the data, enter this code. So I will copy that and include that in my code and then run the code. Now I can see all the data that was in the Excel file within Jupyter Notebook. So with the help of ChatGPT, I was able to import Excel file into Jupyter Notebook and display the data. Moving on, now I need to create bar chart to display the water quality parameters. So I will ask ChatGPT to give me a code for that. So I asked ChatGPT to give me a code to plot a bar chart, and it gave me this code with the example dataset that was created by itself. But the problem is my dataset is different from what is used in this code. So I think I have to ask a more specific question from ChatGPT to get the exact code that I need. So this time I made my question more specific, and I said to give me a code to plot a bar chart for the first row only. And I specified that the values are from column 1 to column 6. Because ChatGPT doesn't know about my dataset, I had to specify where the data is. Based on that, ChatGPT has given me this example code, and again it has created a data frame by itself for the example. So what I can do is use this code to create my own code. So I'll import this code to Jupyter Notebook, and we don't need this example data frame because we already have the data frame, and our data frame name is df. So I will remove this part from the code, and next it says extract the values of the first row from the column 2 to 6. So it should work with our data frame. Then create a bar chart and add values and labels. So I'll run this code and let's see what will happen. Okay, we got a bar chart, and it looks like the bar chart is correct. So we have 17, and it has created a bar chart for the first row. We can actually change the code again a little bit. So as the title, we can enter temperature here. We can change the y value, and run the code again. So we were able to create a bar chart with the help of ChatGPT. Now we'll try to improve the code that we got so that it automatically generate the y-axis value from the first column. So now I asked ChatGPT to update the above code so that it generates the y label from the first column. So it has updated the first code so that it gives the y label from the first column. So it extracts the first value of the first column as the y label. So let's copy this code and paste it in Jupyter Notebook. And like we did previously, we don't need the data frame, and we'll run this and see what we get. So now I have got sampling site as the y label, which is actually the title of the first column, but that is not what I wanted. I wanted the temperature as the y label. This is because that ChatGPT doesn't know what the data set I am dealing with, so I have to be more specific with what I am asking from ChatGPT. So I again asked ChatGPT, and this time I was more specific about what I need as the y label, and it gave me this code. So let's copy that code to Jupyter Notebook and see what we get. Okay, this time we are successful, and we have successfully got the y label what we need. And we can also change the code a little bit. For example, we don't need the title, so I can remove that part of the code, and as the X label I would enter as site. Okay, then we'll run the code again. So now we have a bar chart with correct labels. Moving on, what we can do is create multiple bar charts for each of these parameters. So I said to ChatGPT that I need multiple bar charts and ask the code to create bar charts for each row, so that I get each bar chart for each of the parameters. So it gave me this code, so I will copy that code and enter in Jupyter Notebook. Again, I have to modify the code a little bit. For example, we change the X label as site, and we don't need a title. So to modify these codes, you need a little understanding of the coding, and so if you have done basics in programming, that will be useful. So I'll run the code now, and you can see that it has created multiple bar charts for each parameter. So basically it has automated the process of creating bar charts for each of the parameters. So this is one advantage of using programming languages. It can automate the process. Now we have created the bar charts, but still the charts are within the Jupyter Notebook. So let's say we need to export these charts as images to put into our reports. So I'll ask from ChatGPT how to export these images. So I asked from ChatGPT how to export these charts as images, and it actually updated the previous code and entered this new line, which specify how to save the chart as a PNG image. So that is within the for loop. So each time the for loop is run and each time the bar charts are generated, it will be saved as a image. So I will copy this code and include that in the code we used previously, and we have to make sure that it is within the for loop. Okay, now we have included that part as well in the for loop, and it should be saving the image within the same folder. So I have run the code and bar charts were generated as before, and when I go back to the project folder, I can see the image files. So when I go into the charts, we can see the bar chart, and when I go into the folder, I can see the bar charts, and I can copy paste these charts into the report. So up to now what we did was ask ChatGPT to generate codes for us. Other than that, we can ask ChatGPT to explain specific codes. So for example, let's say we don't understand what is the purpose of this code. So what we can do is we can copy this code and ask ChatGPT to explain that for us. So I asked what this part of the code is doing, and it has given me a explanation of each code and how it works, and it has also given me what is the library, the Python library used. So if I am more interested in learning programming, I can search about this library in Google and read more about that. So another instance where ChatGPT will be useful is when you get a code from someone else, let's say your friend, has sent you this code and there are no comments explaining what is happening in any of these codes. So what you can do is get the help of ChatGPT to understand the code. So you can copy the whole code and ask ChatGPT to explain that for you. So you can see that ChatGPT has clearly explained the code step by step, and and these explanations are very easy to understand even for a beginner who has no understanding of programming. And it has explained the whole code and given what is happening within the code. So this is very useful for someone who is borrowing a code from someone else and who doesn't have an understanding of what is happening within the code. When we do programming, everything doesn't work the way we want. Most of the time we get errors, and dealing with these errors can be very frustrating and time consuming. And sometimes we have to go to an expert and ask what is happening and what is the error, what is the reason for the error. An advantage of ChatGPT is that it can help us with the errors that we encounter when programming. So for example, when I ran this code, I got an error message. So what I am going to do is copy this error message and ask ChatGPT to give me an explanation and to find whether there is a way to overcome this error. So I asked from ChatGPT. So what I did was I copied the error and ChatGPT explained what is happening. And it has said that it can be a typo in the code. And it has explained the error message because most of the time when we get these messages, we even don't understand what the error message is saying. So ChatGPT has explained the error message, and also it has given me a correct code that is to overcome the error. So this is very useful when we do programming because, as I said earlier, we usually encounter errors, and having someone to help us when we face these errors is very useful.